Hi, welcome to the Stockinit Zombies. I'm Amy, also known as J-Nitma.
And I'm Megan, also known as Just Run It. And this is episode 207. Lucky number 207.
Sure. It's lucky.
It finally occurred, so that's always a good thing.
Yes.
Always a good thing. We had some work-related and illness-related delays last week.
Mm-hmm.
Hopefully we're all on the up and up. I was scared that my daughter had a third bout of strep throat, but we had a negative strep test. So, yeah, it's one of those things where it's kind of hard. You kind of have to have like I'm not pressuring you to be an adult here, but sometimes when you have a headache and you don't feel good, you take ibuprofen and you go to school anyway, type thing, right? Like, we ruled out that you were really contagious and you're not feeling well, but let's just go to school because you've missed so much school. Which is tough. I found it tough. Had to be the toughie. And did you do anything exciting for St. Patrick's Day?
No. What do people do on St. Patrick's Day? I stayed home.
We had a group, a gaggle, if you will, of bikers over this Saturday.
Cyclists.
Yes, bikers, yeah. I call them bikers because they are bikers, but they're pedal bikers, not motorcyclers.
Mm-hmm.
Last year, my husband made 2 crock pots of corned beef and cabbage and ran out. And this year, he made 3, and we would have been fine with 1. But we had some other people bring some really good, like, chicken wrap with tarragon. So good. So good. But yeah, he set it up in his brewery, which is right next to the furnace. And so all day, and it was super cold. Well, it felt super cold. It probably wasn't all that cold if it hadn't been like 60 or 70 the previous weekend.
Right.
All day when the furnace kicked on, the smell of corned beef and cabbage wafted throughout my house. My furnace doubled as a heating element as well as a distributor of meaty smells. It was fantastic. I think the cats were a little like,
Yeah, they would like,
what is going on here?
the nose.
Yeah.
It would hit the nose and
Yep.
go funky.
Yep. So that happened this past weekend. What else is going on? Watched The Big Short, which was really interesting. I would highly recommend it. I felt like they did a pretty good job of trying to keep it entertaining and like a docudrama, right? Like it was very dramatic, but yet you felt like kind of smarter at the end of it.
Okay.
But if you're going into it just for pure entertainment, I don't think that it would be like a good pure entertainment type movie.
Yeah. We rented Spectre, so there's the opposite end, the action movie.
Yep.
That's nonstop. And Ant-Man,
Ooh,
which
yes.
the kids really liked.
Yeah. No, my kids love Ant-Man.
That was good.
What else? Have you been watching Generation X? It is narrated by Christian Slater.
I was gonna say that when, like, all of a sudden I was like, that came into my head. Okay.
And it has started a lot of really good conversations between me and my husband because the age range, can you guess the age range?
It's enormous.
Yeah.
It's like way bigger than you would think.
1961 to 1981.
Wow. Yeah.
Yeah,
That's
so like a
huge range.
20-year swath of people. And it just started some really great conversations between my husband and I because he's 5 years older than me. So like when some of this stuff was happening, like for instance AIDS, he was a sexually active adult and I was like in middle school and like being scared out of my mind, and I would have had no chance of ever getting AIDS, right? But just being like toilet seat scares and don't become blood brothers with people. And you would be in between Jeremy and I, right? Yeah. Latchkey Kids was in there. Some of the like women's rights and the ERA was in there. It's like a 5-part mini-series or something like that. It was super. If you have a chance to get it online, which I don't know if you can get it online or not, it's an interesting little look at we're the rule breakers. So like Amazon.com came along and changed everything, and Apple came along and changed everything, and yeah, our generation, it's changing things up.
Yeah. I had one of those moments, like it would be in the movie where somebody says, "Oh, I really love this website where you can buy books," and they showed me Amazon.com, like in like its infancy, and I was clicking around on it, and I just didn't buy books at the time, right? Like I check them out from the library, or I'd borrow them. I would not buy them, so it just like, why am I buying books? Because this is the only thing they sell. And yeah, it was funny that, you know, I don't know how many years later, you know, I have a Prime membership and giving them buckets of money all the time, whereas I should have invested when I heard that piece of it.
Yeah. Well, I was in a class where we were pretending to be investing in the stock market in high school when Yahoo.com had its IPO, and it like was 100, like in the first day you could buy shares at like $12, and then the next day they were like $120 or something like that, like just a huge massive gains in that first day, and I won the stock challenge because I got in on some of those .com IPOs.
Okay.
Which was interesting. I remember that vividly. But yeah, it's Generation X is an interesting documentary for sure. One of the things that like blew my mind was the black woman that was on Star Trek.
Uhura.
Yeah. She actually talked to Martin Luther King Jr. about that she was going to leave the show, and like in my mind of history, like Martin Luther King Jr. was not alive when Star Trek was out for some reason.
Oh, well,
like,
you're thinking of the next generation, not the original story.
Yes, but like I was like, oh wow, and then it was so progressive, right? I mean, it had an Asian lead and it was just a very diverse cast. And I
think they're credited with the first interracial kiss. I think they're credited with strong black female lead. Unfortunately, she was strong as an actress and as a woman, so that came across in her portrayal of the character. But she is just a communications officer, and all the other women, all the rest of them are just So it was good and bad, you know. It was like, oh yay, so close.
But they went through and they picked out all of like these technological things that were in the original Star Trek and like that have come to be, like video conferencing and cell phones, and so yeah, it was interesting. I was like, I was not into the original Star Trek, I guess.
Give me my transporter. Where's my transporter? I know a lot of the original Star Trek. I don't know how much of it I've seen, but I know a lot about it.
Yeah.
So, yeah. It's interesting. We were watching one of the reboots on TV this weekend, too. I don't know. The one with the new, younger cast. But has the same Kirk Spock.
Yeah, I can't remember the name of the episode, but it was something like "The Geeks Shall Lead the Way" or something like that. Like now, geeks aren't, it's very popularized, and we have television shows about geeks, and techie people are everywhere. And back then, it was not cool. It was like Revenge of the Nerds type movies to be that type of person.
Terrible.
A lot of the music, people that could do the synthesizers and program tracks and whatever. It was a very interesting documentary. If you ever have the opportunity to watch it, I would highly recommend it. So.
Yes, Revenge of the Nerds, while entertaining, is a terrible movie.
Yes, yeah.
All that intelligence, and what do they use it for?
Yeah.
Girls! Yeah. Girls, and getting revenge on those jocks, which just, baffles me as an adult. Like, kind of like if you got all your information from Nerds, Revenge of the Nerds, about how near adults, so college-age kids, act, it would just be like, no, that's not real.
Mhm.
How is that even close to being real? Anyway.
Who knows? I don't know that it's an accurate portrayal, but there are a lot of those movies about
Yeah, I know.
college-age kids being crazy about that time. So
Well, crazy and like just really mean to each other. Just crazy sorts of mean to each
Yeah.
other. I don't know. My college experience was different. Nobody was mean to me.
mhm.
Um,
I did feel as a management information systems
well, you're an MIS major.
Yep, major. Yep, exactly.
Girl.
The computer engineers and the computer science people looked down upon me. But I went back and got my master's degree in computer engineering, so they can all. You're the light beer. Your degree is the light beer. I was like, I'll show you. I started out thinking I was going to be an accountant. So anyway, enough about the backstory. My origin story.
Yeah, your origin story.
My geeky origin story. We were very complacent in drawing for our Deja Q prizes.
I know.
So it is now
Terrible.
mid-March, and the January-February cal is well over, and we did not draw. So I went to the prize bin and pulled out some wonderful prizes to give away. So what we did, and what has worked well in the past, is we drew 3 numbers. There were 134 entries, although those weren't all entries. Some of them were conversation. We didn't leave them out. If I had drawn a conversation, I would have redrawn. Turns out I did not need that. So we got out this double knit sock blanket from a Riot of Color. I don't see a colorway on here, but it's very pinks and blues.
It's ready for spring.
Yes, very springy. And the double knit ones work really well if you're doing 2 at a time socks, because you just unravel it together. Otherwise, you could make balls out of the 2 or wind off and do the stick. What's that called? A nostipin?
Huh? Oh, well, the stick that does the balls is a nostipin.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep. And then we also have from the Fat Squirrel Fibers an MCN 600 yards, so 150 grams of her hazelnut base in the Morning Dove colorway, which is very tonal and very pretty. I think it would look beautiful as one of those Deja Q shawl patterns that people have repeat knit. And then
Lots of yards there.
the wonderful tablet or planner case, whatever it may be, Star Trek, very fitting considering our conversation, from Silvershed USA. And she can do all kinds of custom stuff. This is just an example of one that's very pockety. So there's those 3 prizes, and whoever contacts first and lays claim gets the thing of their choice, and then the subsequent ones get follow up. So that's worked really well for us in the past. Do you want folks to contact you?
Sure.
Okay.
I can do that.
We did 2 through 134, and we got 102, 45, and 19. So 102 was MVA 5493. Don't know quite if that was just I couldn't get any of the names, so I threw some numbers at the end, but I'm sure Valerie will let me know, or you know. And she knit a Looney Cowl, and she's knit it many times. Looks like a fun knit. Number 45 is Claudie, and that's Claudia. So that Claudie is the Claudia without the A. And she knit a conversationalist hat, and just looks like a great use of scrap yarn. 45 out in the forums. And number 19 is DG White, which is Denise, and she knits some Pearl Soho socks, which look very textured and fun. So again, a great thread to go through, and tried and true patterns. And Claudia, Denise, and Valerie, contact Amy with your choice, and that should be fun.
Yeah. So whichever one you want first, the sock blank, the 600 yards of Fat Squirrel, or the Star Trek.
All in their own pocket.
Yeah. But you get one.
Yes.
Pick one,
yes.
and I will send that off.
Other administrati, both Just Run It Designs and Woolly and Stocking It Zombies are Woolly Trot sponsors.
Yes.
which is a very fun, I think this is her second annual. Annual. She's done multiple
Yes.
5Ks, but this is the second year of the spring Woolly Trot. And basically, we'll link it, but there's participation prizes. So if you go out and attest that you've done your 5K, I can't remember if you get extra entries for posting a picture. I'm not the keeper or the maker of the rules, so go out and make sure you check. But you can sign up, and she's got really cute kind of fuzzy, plump, jogging sheep. Yeah.
He's got a name. I can't remember his name.
Yeah, he does.
Anyway,
Yeah.
he's adorable. He's got a sweatband
Mhm.
across his forehead.
And last year, all she had was kind of the performance fabric shirts, but now she's got a whole onslaught of them. So a hoodie, long sleeve, short sleeve cotton shirts, also the performance wear. You can just sign up. I think the minimum is like a medal, so she'll just send you a medal. So it's kind of fun. It's a good way to jumpstart your spring outdoor exercise regime. Regime sounds very
Military. Apparently it sounds imperial.
It
to
does.
Megan.
It's an imperial march, the regime. Sarah does a fantastic job, super fun, and our logos will be on the back. So
Yeah.
that's cool. And I'll link that. And then I made mention last time that we recorded that Bijou Basin Ranch had a coupon code, and I was thinking it was just next month when they were sponsoring the self-striping, but it's good now till the end of April. So go out and buy some of the self-striping for the yarn or whatever, strikes your fancy. So the coupon code is BBR Zombies. Again, BBR and then the word zombies, all one word, and that's good for 15% off through the end of April 30th, 2016.
Cool.
Yeah, they've got some awesome stuff on there. That self-striping that's made out of yak is kind of calling my name.
I have clicked on the link a few times trying to
Convince or
I don't know.
unconvince yourself?
Yeah. We'll see.
And then just a preview to the end, we're going to be reviewing 2 products. We've got a 716 knit Targhee and a Never Not Knitting. I'm wearing the necklace. Pretty. Yes. It's her wool and wire. Yeah, wool and wire line. Never Not Knitting. And she has so kindly sent our way, and both of those will have drawings. And we also have existing drawings out there. We're drawing-tastic.
Yes. If we remember to do the drawings, we're drawing to
We will. Because you guys will keep us honest. You will be like, I want my insert prize here.
Speaking of KL/prizes/everything, we have a
New KL?
Yeah, we have a spring green KL. So we are doing that for March and April, and knit anything green.
Mm-hmm. Bring spring. I've got all kinds of hashtags that I've started to use. Knit lucky, get lucky, because green is the color of luck. I started that one on St. Patrick's Day. Bring spring. Another hashtag I've recently used.
Mm-hmm.
I'm trying to think up, taglines for our KAL that doesn't need taglines.
Yeah.
So yeah, join us. That's going to be March and April. So if you've got a green project already on the needles, or you just needed an excuse to cast on all things green, I didn't need an excuse, but it did help enable me.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anything else?
That's all I have.
Okay. Bring on the FOs. Bring it.
So I had just posted this. I have letters for the retreat.
Woot woot.
O
M. What are you spelling?
B I E Zombie.
Zombie.
So I have one word done. The longer word is next, so we'll see how long that takes. But that was fun. Spent my evening doing that.
You said I get one of the letters, right? So I got to get a green one cast on. I get to be one of the ones that has a
Well,
letter.
they're already in order, so you got to put your best foot forward because you're going to kick out somebody who's already in there.
I was thinking a really pretty green one.
Okay. Bright.
Yes, very
Okay.
bright. Like maybe, and those are worsted, right? So
Yes.
maybe some bright green worsted that's recently come into my life.
Okay. Sounds good. Let's see. Yeah.
Anything to say about those letters? Just cut them out of felt and...
Yeah, I didn't even go with a thicker felt. I just went, well, okay, it's a thicker felt, so it was a little bit more expensive, but it wasn't stiffened or sticky or anything like that. It's just a higher quality felt. I cut them into the same size squares for the non-capitalized letters. So they're all capitalized, but
Did you have stencils or did
the
you just use like a printout?
No, it's freeform.
Okay.
So I just cut them, but I made sure that the squares that I started with were all the same.
Mm-hmm.
And just made sure that the parts that should hit each corner. Mm-hmm. So like the M, you're just cutting a triangle at the top and then up through, the bottom.
So almost like a woodworking type.
Yes.
Yeah. Like you're just kind of whittling and shaving down into.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yep. That's how I made those. And then let's see.
Just hand stitched them on.
Yep. Just a whip stitch.
Yep. Looks nice.
So I wanted them to look crafty. So you can see like this is a big letter. And then all these are cut from the same size square. The little ones.
I like it.
So
are we getting ribbon or something for the top?
We are tying them with hand spun.
Okay, cool.
I have some hand spun leftovers, and I got a couple swap hand spuns recently from people that are coming to the retreat, so I thought that'd be fun too. So yeah. I don't know whether to string them or just tie little bows just yet. I mean, the stringing of the zombie and apocalypse part would be easy enough to do, but then after that, it'd probably be easier just to tie on everybody after that.
Yeah. We met with the hotel people and they were trying to come up with a pulley system and we were like, probably not going to happen. Probably just need to be down at our level.
Yeah, like here, so that I can just tie them on. Okay. Excuse. So, as proven from the first one, they fit. And I had my husband try them on. They fit him as well. So I have to figure out if I have any sport fit socks or sock yarn for him. Probably not anything striped or interesting right now, but
in your stash or for your husband?
In the stash. In the stash that is for the husband, yeah.
Jeremy really likes his. He likes the way that they kind of hug his feet.
Mm-hmm. So those are done.
I've received positive feedback.
And then I have
dun, dun, dun.
The threshold. I don't know. Everything went well on this one. It's a bottom-up sweater. Or is it? No, it's top-down. I've already forgotten.
It's been so long since you finished it. It's with Sun Valley Fibers, right?
Yeah. I think it's top-down and then you start around after here.
Mm-hmm.
And then, Sun Valley Fibers, MCN, that I got many, many, many moons ago. So it's a old stash, accomplished.
The tonality of the yarn does really well with those textured patches.
Yeah. And yeah, you can kind of see that there was one skein that had a lot of blue splotches in it.
Mm-hmm.
But I was able to get those into the sleeves.
Mhm.
And there's some on the back. But yeah.
I really like it. I commented to you already, but I'll say it again on camera. I feel like it's a very big becoming fit. I know you don't like that word. A very attractive fit on you.
Yeah, what I want to say about it. I haven't worn it yet. It's been a little too warm lately. I think that I've been sweating in even my thinnest of long sleeve shirts.
Mhm.
So I can't imagine wearing a wool sweater yet. But
Even a fingering weight one?
I know. It's just been like, nope, too warm. Don't want to wear it. So I'm hoping that something happens, but you will see that it has resulted in me casting on non-wool sweaters this past week. So
you say that, and then the weather forecaster says we're supposed to get like 8 inches of snow.
I know, which is great because then I can wear it. But maybe
Great.
it's not April yet. What do you expect?
I know. It's just the weather has conditioned us to recently to being nice and warm, and
Well,
so
we
now
had
it
that
feels-
May snowstorm last year.
I know, right? We got like a foot after my husband's birthday.
Yeah, not good. So this is at least contained in March so far. So, but yeah, you just pick up the sleeve. It's a drop shoulder.
Yeah, I was gonna say it's not domain, but it's drop. The sleeves aren't the same direction as the top.
Right. Yep. So
And asymmetrical hem, which I think helps add
long back. So it's not like askew or anything like the breathing space. It's straight, but the back is longer. Tab. I think that's a tabbed sweater. Anyway. So yeah, I feel like I am not doing it justice. It was a nice, easy pattern. I really enjoyed it. There's shaping, instead of happening on the waist, it happens in the back. So, which I thought was unique and interesting.
It is.
And it's
And
got
it
the
gets the
same
job done.
detail on the arms. But yes, that was it. I got 3, well, 2 and some little
Exciting.
done.
I really like that texture pattern. It's very interesting.
Yeah, somebody linked to somebody else that was working on a shawl that had this pattern in it. I don't know if it was exactly the same, but it was pretty close. Definitely triangles with knits and pearls.
And some cross hatches.
Yes.
Kind of that latticey.
Yep.
Fun. Well, I have a serious case of sleeve avoidance, so I don't have any of my sweaters done. But I have kept up on my my sock, not resolution, but goal. So I finished the Color Wheel BFL of my new sock pattern that will be coming out in a Pippi Longstocking kit with Annie Light, little skein. It's got a braid motif that goes up the foot with some kind of flanking braid motif, and then very cool textural gusset that's supposed to look like freckles. So it's very fun, and I really enjoy the BFL. It's got a nice hand, very soft, not pilly, and it worked up well. I do notice that the reds are really close to each other, but I didn't break the yarn and fix it because the pattern repeats would be such that I don't think I would run out of yarn, but I didn't want to risk it. And very rainbow-tastic, and a thicker base. I had to start the gusset a little sooner than when I did it with the other lighter.
Yeah, that was a thinner, yeah.
Yeah. So by the time I got to the end, it had gotten very long. So I had to start it a little sooner, but things that I hadn't really thought about before, because the gusset is so abbreviated with the OMG, right? Like the difference of row gauge wouldn't have made much of a difference when you're doing such a abbreviated little gusset. So that was week 10. And week 11, we'll be reviewing, but I wanted to show as a finished object as well some 716 knit. The base is called 716 Gi, so it's Targi, and a really fun colorway name. Some of her colorway name. This one isn't as caustic as others of them. They're based on Buffy the Vampire quotes, and this one was, "Remember to be yourself unless you suck." And then don't be yourself.
Yeah, be somebody else.
Yeah, be somebody else. So we'll talk about Targi when we review and look at the other one. But these got cast on St. Patrick's Day because they are very green and knock your eyes out. Like, these are the greenest of green socks that I have.
That's quick. I mean, I know it's not as quick as some people, but wow, I don't think I could finish a pair of socks.
Well, I have to get on to this week's sock.
I know.
Like, every Sunday I've got like this like mental timer, because if you start getting behind, so yeah, like Saturday I think I knit a sock on Saturday. I was like, I gotta get this done.
But isn't that just when you go, let's see, who's the smallest foot person I know? Okay, and just knit those. Oh, anybody got a baby? Baby socks.
In a different world, these might be called like Slytherin socks, because it's very green, and then I just did a traveling motif, but the right and left go a different direction. So there's a little bit of bias in here. You can see it in the toe, where the decreases and the increases are kind of all heading that direction, and so the sock kind of biases that direction. But I don't mind it. Again, it's kind of like the skews. It kind of, if you put this one on your left foot, it kind of hugs you in all the right places. And that has nothing to do with the yarn. That's all the stitch pattern. So, but yes, very speckle-tastic and very my colors. So I was tempted by the other colors, but I did not. I had to go with this one. Had to go with this one. All right. And those are my finished objects.
So we're on to the parade, huh?
Yes, the parade of whips.
Yeah.
Do, 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 do.
Okay. Where to start?
Mentally prepare yourself.
No. I didn't get very far in the bolting because I just cast on a bunch of things.
All the things.
Yeah. So we have the green KL going on. And so originally what I wanted to do is take this Bugga that I got Deep Stash long time ago.
Cookie Ace Hot Club.
Yes.
Hersuckle or something like that.
Oh, it's beautiful. And
yes.
It's got green and it's got this lovely purpley. Oh, it's beautiful. Anyway,
I have that short sleeve sweater that Susan knit for me out of it.
Oh, that's right. So this is the Marin
shawl.
Yep, from Yosoda.
No.
So
very leafy too. Oh, you got double springy points there.
I know. So it's got this really interesting scalloped type shape, and it's knit sideways. And yeah, just when I thought of the thing that I wanted to knit with a sport weight yarn, this pattern came up, and I thought it would look lovely in the variegated. And I think it's going to be fantastic.
I agree. 100%. Is it reversible? Is that a reversible stitch pattern?
Yeah, it is fairly reversible. I think that I can tell the side that I would like better.
Okay.
But I think that it is.
Is that the side she called the right side?
Yes. This is the side she called the right side. Because there is a right and wrong side to it when you're knitting on it. So that was that. But I will say that there are 2 test knits that have recently come into my inbox. One from this gal here, And then also We Sheep,
Okay.
Julia.
Smart.
Yes. So that is a shawl and a sweater. And I have yarn for both of them in my stash. So those will probably get cast on fairly quickly as well while we're in the green. So,
Ooh.
but again, these other things are...
You're going to do a green beach fleece?
Yeah, well, it's that super bright, crazy pants green from Leading Men with the gray. Oh, it's bright.
Ooh, be still my heart.
So the gray is going to go across the top part of the beach.
Got the vapors.
And the stripes will be bright.
Now I'm jealous.
You're going to be jealous when I cast it on. It's going to be awesome.
You're going to be so jealous.
So, and then I will go back to something that I already had on the needles.
Mm-hmm. So
So
pretty.
I have my start, which won't be quite as far along as Megan's start, of the breathing space. So I have this lovely gray from Soctopus that was the River Styx, and then the rusty color from Fat Squirrel.
Yeah.
So I thought that should live in my Fat Squirrel bag.
Mm-hmm. Very metallic.
Yeah.
That.
Yeah, coppery with the metal. Yeah,
Mhm.
I love it.
Yeah.
So this is super fun
Mhm.
and really addicting. I'm on the long parts of the short row though, and so it's not going as quick as it used to. So it's not like, oh, I'm going to put like another, the 10 stitch repeat. I'm going to put another 10 stitch repeat in here. No, not 10 row repeat. Anyway, getting a lot further along on this. I think that hopefully the next time you see it, I will be on the straightaway, being the slant,
Working on the bias.
the slanted bias.
Mm-hmm.
A little bit of waist shaping. Hopefully it'll all be on its way next week. I've already stained up the second gray because I'm like, oh look, it's getting smaller. It's still like a third of a ball of yarn, but it's getting smaller.
The cool thing about stripes is that you don't have to really do much like
Oh yeah, I'm
yarn
not.
swapping because your eye won't pick up the difference when there's a red stripe in between, right?
Right, exactly. And in here I found another finished object.
She's hiding it in
And
there.
what was hiding it in there? I think it's because I wanted to weave in the ends, and I thought that
You were going to work on that? and
Yeah.
That would be in there to weave in ends?
yes, and also it needs to stay clear of the cat, so it has to be hidden. And
Will she help you trim your ends if you
Yes.
leave it out? Okay.
unfortunately, yes. So this is my second chart number one, hex. I was making the hashtag number one, and then it's a hex. So I need to block it, obviously, and that'll be done probably after I weave in the ends a little bit. On this particular pattern, I've been weaving in the ends first and then blocking. I don't know if I'd always do that, but I think that's what I've been doing here.
And did I see in our forums that you're going to try to create like a cardboard template to block them out on, or?
Not a cardboard. I was going to tape around the edges.
Okay,
There's
there
a
we go.
few other people doing different tactics. So
Mhm.
yeah, if you have ideas. I was just going to use my 1/4" masking tape from my quilting days and map out the size that it needs to be and just pin to that every time. Whew. And that should be easy to do mathematically. Maybe the kids will have a protractor that I can borrow to check the angles. Then I decided to cast on a bunch of really cool cotton linen type things. So I'll start with the cotton. This Kimasu shrug. I got the kit as a gift last year in ZK, and And so I went in and bought the pattern that went with the kit, and it's just been sitting for a long time, but it's such an interesting thing to knit with. So it feels like you're knitting with paper.
Okay, yeah. Is it easy to break?
But it is 100% cotton. I haven't been trying, but it's not, see, I'm tugging.
Yeah.
It's not breaking. But yeah, I'm starting to get that chevron-y look. And
can it get wet? Like so, I'm like so.
No, it's cotton.
Okay, so it's cotton. It can't get wet. It's not literally paper.
No, it just feels like paper.
Yeah. Also, it looks like those things that you make. You made bracelets and like, what is that?
Okay,
stuff?
I guess it's not. It's 100% cotton, but it's got a, I'm assuming, Japanese name.
Okay.
Let's see. Yeah, and the tag doesn't have any washing instructions at all. So,
Ito.
Yeah. So they're Ito Gima.
Fun.
So I'm sure I will figure out how to wash it if I need to. But right now I'm just enjoying.
So interesting.
Yeah, knitting with the fun texture. And so light, it's just so different from all the knitting I've been doing. Even, fingering weight, anything, this is just so much lighter than that. But I had to keep working on it until I had all the colors incorporated, of course. So now that I have all the colors incorporated, I'm happy with the stripe combo that I'm getting. I have the lighter colors being the more dominant, and then the darker colors being the different stripes in it.
Yeah. You kept on saying incorporated, and my mind went to the, was it a Nickelodeon show? Kids Incorporated. K-I-D-S.
Okay. I sort of remember the Kids Incorporated, but I don't remember the chanting.
Looks like we made it. The Kids Incorporated. Sorry. If you're gonna be friends with me, you kind of have to be okay with me just randomly interjecting songs. Sorry.
And then, so Louette contacted us about their spring collection, and I was super interested in their Euroflux base, which is 100% wet spun linen and machine washable and dryable, sport weight. And they had this lovely pattern in the spring collection.
Xtappa.
The place.
Okay.
You Google it and you don't get the pattern. So no problemo.
Lots of positive ease.
Yes.
Lacy edgings.
And side panel.
And it's knit up, and a lot of the cotton and linens are kind of, fingering and lighter weight in the sport. Hopefully it should move along a little faster.
Yeah, I hope so. I'm having fun with the border. You start with the bottom hem border. So I have bottom hem border. Needs to be 24 inches. Lots of positive ease around the hips. So it's a 48 incher around the hips.
Wow.
At least the size I chose. So that is getting started. Cool. It'll be fun to, I don't know, this has been fun. It's just like 15 stitches, I think. You're just like, swoop, 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 done. It just keeps going and going and going. I don't know, I'm enjoying playing with the linen.
Yeah.
So far. The center of your caking doesn't go away. It just stays solid. It's just a weird thing. You take it off and you're like, oh, it didn't go away.
It holds its form.
It sure does. So, yeah. Been having fun bringing that on board. They had another pullover that I really liked as well.
We can link to the collection.
Yeah, I might have to talk about that one in the threads with you all. I like that one as well. But you'll be seeing more of this one
as we near the warmer temps.
Yes, as we get there. But like I said, I got green things that are on my mind. and it's
Yo.
yes, terrible. But that is everything that got worked on.
Okay.
There were things that did not get worked on, but why talk about them?
Okay.
We'd be here all night.
Yes. So sleeve avoidance, as I mentioned, is strong. I have a design that needs sleeves. I believe this is the design. Yep. Design that needs sleeves. I've got the Timeless Henley to where I need to pick up and do the sleeves. I've even, and if you knew me, you would know I hate weaving in ends. I've even woven in the ends on this thing. All to avoid doing sleeves. It's a syndrome. It's sleeve avoidance syndrome, basically. Lots of positive ease with this lace. She has written in the pattern that it will grow 2 inches upon blocking in general. And so I'm hoping that some of this positive ease on the width gets blocked out into kind of matches. I could rock this.
You could rock that.
Yeah. So yeah, it doesn't, I mean, it doesn't seem, it kind of holds its shape on the width side. New for me with this pattern, so it was cast on here, worked down to where you joined in the round, picked up and worked down to where you work into the round. And then this, the buttonhole edging here and the button band were all worked in line, which was super nice. There is a collar up at the top that ends up being picked up and worked on. But yeah, I'm enjoying the Huckleberry Knits BFL. I don't plan on wearing it over to Amy's house anytime soon because your cat may decide that is that why you came over, Max?
Yeah.
Do you have a penchant for this BFL? Is it super tasty? Do you know?
I would hope that Pivot wouldn't try to eat it off of your person, but you never know.
She has a taste for it now.
Yeah, she would sit on your lap and she'd start licking it. She'd be like, that looks good. That smells delicious.
Yes. So this is by the Interpretations. We also are by Joji Locatelli in Interpretations that we've reviewed. If I had it to do again, I would have joined in the and not had it be such a deep Henley. But I can always just sew that button on, right? I mean, it just causes you to have a line down the middle, which is good sometimes. You don't want to just be a blob up there. Oh, now you're giving her love, huh? I see how it is. So the sleeves are just stockinette. You just pick up and you do some short rows and then it's stockinette. So it's not impossible. I saved some of the yarn from the top back so that I'll stripe that in just in the off chance. And it does look a little different, a little lighter. This ball, the one that I had left over wouldn't have matched. I saved some back and started alternated skeins throughout. But yeah, it just looks super wide to me when I hold it up. I just keep on like elongating it and pulling it down. Hasn't been blocked yet. It may still make it. And then for the spring green KAL, I cast on again from the Interpretations the breathing space, and my goodness, does this have a lot of breathing space. So while you're doing the short rows, you continue to increase, and so it just cut very, very wide, very, very quickly. Modification. He's like trying to Spider-Man kiss us upside down. Max, you're trying to be cute. He's like, I don't try, lady. I looked at the pattern and I looked at some of the finished object projects and Ravelry, and I thought the ones where the stripes came down lower on folks, and I don't know if those are larger sizes, looked nice and so I have a small bust and I didn't need it to minimize me by hitting me right here and then filling in underneath. I wanted it to emphasize that I actually had some bumps there, so I did 6 extra stripes before I started the short rows over what was written, and I have some concerns. Peg has also confirmed said concerns that this arm, is this called the Scythe? Not Sith. It's definitely not Sith. That's another Star Wars illusion, but it's very, it's taut. It's tight through there, so it is going to get pulled down. And then I'm just in the main color at the bottom until this side gets to be a certain number of inches, and then there's some ribbing, and then there's some fun striped sleeves. Oh, thanks for the kisses, man. But yeah, the green is from a Kickstarter. It's Color Me Happy. It's another BFL. I really like it. It's different than other BFLs I've had. And the color is very kind of tonal, but very bright emerald. And there was very little. She did a very good job. I got all the skeins that were dyed together. Like, as I mentioned, did I do some color swapping at the top? I don't think I did. I just knit until I got to the stripes, and then, as we talked about with yours, color swapping down here wouldn't really make much sense because you wouldn't notice that this green stripe was a little different. I had a speckly dye, which is what the pattern is knit up in, and instead I decided to go with the Leading Men Fiber Arts in the Venetian Sunset, and I'm really glad I did. I was kind of worried about the peaches. I didn't like the combo of the peach with the green as much, but I do like how it kind of has an illusion of almost like glimmering, right? With the variegation kind of playing in there, and I really like the pops of bright pink against that green. So, and then I provisionally bound off the sleeves because I've been running into, when I put it on spare yarn and I try it on and jostle it around a whole bunch, that these stitches get really elongated. So I found and I think that's also adding to some of the tautness. I found if you just use spare yarn and bind off the stitches, that kind of locks it in place a little better than just putting it on spare yarn, where it can kind of allow some slack to get worked into those stitches. This kind of locks it into place. But yes, I will concur with Amy. Super fun, addicting knit. These stripe sections, I was like, I can't put this down. I gotta see the next. And I did the fair amount of like looking at it, admiring the pretty pinks against the greens, but very springy, very springy.
It's very different from mine.
Yes.
Yeah, you mentioned Peg. I ordered a Peg. Well,
Peg's sister.
She needs a name. She is a gorgeous black lady. So she needs a name.
She's gonna help you try on your stuff. Cool.
She needs a name. Yes. I don't know, it should be flattering for photos. And I was thinking, like, my long running whips, like, maybe they need to go up on the mannequin, like in partial mode, just to show me, hey, you need to work on that again. Look how pretty it was.
Peg was wearing my sleeveless Timeless Hemi.
Yeah.
Like, she confirms to me that if I pull it down long enough that it's form-fitting and it's long enough and it doesn't seem as wide on her. But yeah, it's good. I mean, it means that you don't have to try it on yourself and try to stand in front of a mirror or... in general, most of my needles are long enough that I can get it on her, like holding on to the needles really tight on one end. Where I can't do that when I'm actually putting it, because I've got like these gangly arms and appendages that get in the way.
And the head.
Yes. That too. And Peg's only got, the one leg, basically, and then a bust and a waist, an upper body.
So yeah, my dress form, not Peg, her sister, maybe.
Needs a sister from another mother.
Yeah. She is. Yeah.
She's coming. Yeah. They're fun. I like my dress form. And then this week's stocks are Happy Go Lucky in her Wonder Twins. I kind of resigned myself to the fact rainbow, bright. Like James Bond.
Yeah.
Bond. James
Bright. Rainbow Bright.
Yes, right, Rainbow Bright. I knew that my socks were not going to use all of the colors, right? I mean, I generally, when I'm done with yarn, I have quite a bit left over, and the first color and the last color, if I pulled from the inside, or the first color and the last color if I pulled from the outside, are my favorite, right? So I love the blues and the greens. And so I decided to make some skews and do sensing a theme here, 2 row stripes in said skews, but I kind of forgot that the green is going to last a whole lot longer if I only do 2
Half
rows
of it,
every. So eventually I'll get to some yellow and some purple. It might be in the heeled turn or during the origami moment or whatever, but it's green, spring green cow. So there's that. And those come with a fun little, I have the straw in here still.
Oh, yeah.
That sticks in between. You are just a pill tonight.
I have Bajoran Wormhole is my sock pair that are like that.
Mm-hmm.
And it's a blue to lighter blue.
Mm-hmm.
Really enjoyed that one, and it's one of those things where I'm looking for something to do and I just don't want to,
Mm-hmm.
you know, it's like, oh, save it. I don't know what I'm saving it for, but
Yep.
save it.
I've really wanted to use it. I got some more at Knitting Pipeline in the Wonder Balls,
Okay.
right? And I thought it would be fun on the next one. I'll do the toe in the blue and then the green, and I'll stripe them the opposite direction. Amy also mentioned I could work more of the colors in if I just continued on. So then they would be very fraternal twins, right?
Mm-hmm.
I would know that the yarn came from a similar, it was all in one. It was dyed together
Mm-hmm.
and was supposed to be part of the scheme, but a innocent bystander might not know, right? They might just think I'm wearing mismatched socks.
Yeah.
So I have to decide whether or not. I'm ready to start doing the ankle increases, so I need to put it down. I think I generally do the number of straight, no increases that the pattern calls for. So, and that reminds me, I did not, after doing these short rows, do any more increases. Like I just did decreases on as were written for the shaping. Are you getting licked?
Yeah, I think my hair is getting bad there.
So I just did the increases, and then I did the short row shaping decreases, and I've kept it the same width. So it isn't continuing to grow. It'll still have the asymmetrical hemline
Mm-hmm.
because it's got the bias already in there. And we shall see. Ours will be very different.
Mm-hmm.
Color schemes and where the
Bust
stripe,
start, too.
yeah, where the bust stripes kind of occur. But we, again, because it's been 2 weeks, are just jibber jabbering, and we've got
Yep.
stuff to talk about here at the end.
We do.
So we were very wonderfully sent for review by Alana, the wonderful Taking Root hat pattern. I think this would make a wonderful addition to our spring green cowl, because you could knit that up in some green, and my goodness, wouldn't it be fun? It is written up for Yarn on the House, Yoff, Big Sister, which is 230 yards per 100 grams. So that's a DK, alternate yarn, DK, Madeline Tosh Merino DK. And just a really fun traveling motif, and I am just a sucker for the star at the top, where it meets at the top. Very tam-like, right? Like it's not a stockinette or a stocking hat. But we've got a pattern of those to give away, and then she very kindly sent her wool and wire, so jewelry for knitters. And here, one of these had a really good write-up on it. Very wonderfully packaged. Love the twine and the paper. Okay, so it's a luxury piece in the wool and wire collection. It's handcrafted with copper wire, copper core wire dipped in 0.999 pure silver to the nines. And then this shawl pin has genuine freshwater pearls and faceted crystals, and it's of course paper hypoallergenic. So kind of the thought process behind it all is that you can have these necklaces or this shawl pin. So you poke it through both layers and stick it through there. And then down here there's a little hook, a pretty secure hook. I mean, I had to try pretty hard to get that off. Similarly with the, it's like almost like a paper clip, like you have to find the place where you're taking it off, and there's a little bit of a snap there. But you can keep, I would be hard pressed to use these as stitch markers because they're so pretty and I would hate to lose it. But you can, they're stitch markers. So it's wearable, functional art.
Mm-hmm. And I would say that the ones on the shawl pin that we're going to be giving away in a drawing have 6 smaller, daintier beads, and I have a feeling that these will be very useful. These really big ones, I have a heart. They're heavier, and so I'd have to have a really beefy project to want to add this much weight to it. I wouldn't add this to my cotton shrug that I'm doing right now. But these little ones, I would totally do that. These little ones that came with the and I didn't do my due diligence on research to see if we could buy or replace our stitch markers with. Because they came together like this with the stitch markers, but they are packaged separately, so it makes me think like maybe you can buy extra sets to go in your jewelry.
So I know nevernotknitting.com has them, as well as it looks like on the shawl pin it says woolandwirejewelry.com, and the artist's name is Sally Ann, spelled S-A-L-L-E-E, Sally Ann. So yeah, very cool. Love the packaging. Super cool concept and really well executed. Like mine is kind of a super long one that has I don't know, you know all of this terminology, but it's got
it's a centering bead.
A centering
so
bead.
If you wanted to put it on your neck and wrap it.
My head, a small head like mine.
My head's too big. But it's a centering bead, so you can put that on your throat, and then wrap and go over the top, and then it will be
kind of zhuzh.
Whereas, you know, if you didn't have that bead there, you might get it kind of cockeyed when it came back around.
And yours has an actual adjustable.
So mine's just a long chain with a not a lobster clasp, but you know, the little C clasp, and it moves freely on the chain, and the chain is such that you can put this clasp anywhere on it, so you can adjust the height. So if you think like, well, I'm going to need them a little bit lower so that I can actually see them when I'm trying to take off my next stitch marker, you can do so.
And you could, if you had a favorite one, like one that you got when you went to Rhinebeck and saw somebody that you loved, or one that somebody made for you that was near and dear to your heart, you could also throw it on here, right?
Yep, absolutely.
So yeah, super cool concept. Absolutely love it. And thank you to Alana for sending it to us and sending one for each of us to try out and then one to send to you guys. So super generous space.
Yeah, I definitely have worn stitch markers before, but this is a very pretty way to do it.
And very elegant.
Yeah.
I feel way classy.
Way classy. But how would it look with one of my little sheep ones?
Or the snowflake that you got from the Joby.
Yeah,
that look classy.
Sparkle.
And then 716 also sent us a skein to give away. So I already knit up my target.
Super quick as she is. Mine is still in the skein. And actually I lost the tag was taken off so that I could get a stitch marker that was on it.
Mm.
Yeah, really cool, dark splatter.
Mm-hmm. And this one is very bright, a la our spring cow. Although, yeah, there are some green. Green. Works, green. So both of these were very timely for our KAL. And splatter-tastic. Just like, pow, yellow, and then blues and pinks and greens and pew, 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 pew. And it's so fun, right? I mean, like, you don't really think about it that...
If I hadn't just knit with a very similar yellow, I would probably... probably would have. But
Very
I don't
springy.
have anything like this that I've knit with recently.
Mm-hmm.
It reminds me of our birthday yarn.
It does. I saw that when I looked at it too. So this one is Making Eyes at my non-boyfriend. Making Eyes at my non-boyfriend.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, the base is 90% superwash Targhee and 10% nylon. And I did a little bit of internet research. I can't say that I did it as good as like if a journalist were doing it. But Targhee is a relatively new breed of sheep. So it was in 1920s in Idaho, and it's named after the national that they were raised in, wherever the USDA was raising said sheep in. So Targhee is an area, so it makes me think of Sally a little bit. Mm-hmm. It is a combo. It was bred for softness, but also sturdiness. So it has a really long staple length. So it's got that long wool sturdiness, which I would say this does not feel like it's going anywhere. And it's a cross of Rambouillet and Corriedale and Lincoln. And I've struggled with an adjective to describe the texture of the sock. It doesn't feel very wool-like. I mean, it's soft like a wool. It's that Rambouillet, you love your Rambo stuff, right? Super soft. But it's just got this like elasticity and sturdiness to it. Like,
yeah, you can tell that it's got that Rambouillet in there. And the things that I have that Rambo, they're just very round.
Mm-hmm.
The yarns that you get with them, they're just very smooshy.
Yeah, yep. So this is
and
very...
they tend to, as you wash them, just get smooshier.
Yeah, so this may bloom. I have
Yes.
not washed them yet. It's kind of a lacy textured sock. I will definitely update folks on how well they wear. I plan on wearing them now that I've shown them off in their non-worn state. I did a spacious OMG heel in there. But it's just a almost doughy texture. And then I just to mention, I did knit these while walking around in several places. And I can't, does it say on here if it's a 2-ply? I'm pretty sure it's a 2-ply. And there were several cases where I kind of caught half of a ply.
Oh, yeah.
I think it's that long wool. You have to have a really tight twist to keep it together, right? Mm-hmm. So but completely enjoyable. And we'll be opening both of the threads for these giveaways. Might not be immediate because we've already got so many giveaways currently out there, and we don't like to have like just a bajillion going on at one time. But I think it'll be fun throughout the spring cowl to be giving away that hat pattern and the shawl and this very springy yarn. So go check it out. I know that there's I haven't seen any in her shop, but Targhee is definitely, I was very interested in it. That is why it got on the needle so quickly. Experimenting with my wools, yo.
Yeah, I just have apparently sweateritis, and I don't feel, and maybe shawl-itis, but I haven't felt like knitting on socks since I finished my skews.
Well, I'm knitting enough socks for the both of us.
Yes, sure are. I don't get any of them, but she's knitting enough socks for the both of us.
Yeah, I think the next socks have to be my husband. He's been wearing his a lot more recently, so.
Okay, even with the weather changing.
Yeah. I'm going to continue to wear mine, even with the weather getting warmer, because I've noticed that my feet, like maybe, again, maybe TMI here, but maybe I'm a sweaty foot person. And when I'm wearing wool socks, my feet don't get like stinky sweaty like they do with commercially made socks. And they also seem like they get aerated a little better. Like the merino does its job, or the wool does its job, and really the perspiration dissipates versus like stays there all day.
I can imagine that if I had sweaty feet, yeah, because after a workout, the socks are the first things to go. I'm like,
Yeah.
ugh, socks.
Yeah. And so I don't know why it took me so long to actually wear my hand knit socks, but now I'm like, I think I'm going to be rocking these until I just can't even imagine putting a piece of wool on my body because it's so hot.
Mm-hmm.
And then I'll go barefoot. No. I can't do that at work, but any ZK things we want to mention? Upcoming deadlines. The 5K deadline is in April. The t-shirt deadline is in April. Signing up to teach a class is in April. We are doing all kinds of assembly with our goodie bags. So Amy and I are keeping ourselves busy.
We're gonna need volunteers.
I'm super excited about it though.
Guaranteed.
So
Yes,
excited about
yes, it's going to be very fun. And while so Better Together is our theme,
Mhm.
and I think that we've struck the right combo of stuff for you guys this year,
that will be better together.
fitting that theme.
Yeah.
And then my mom wanted to mention that currently there's pre-orders for the bags for the retreat, like in the past. I have given her a logo, so you can put a logo on the bag, or you can go with just the different colors of knit stitches. But she has ordered some of the fabric and will be making up samples so that you will actually be able to see the bags in the colors shortly. Right now it's just pictures of the fabric, and so it's pictures of the knitted fabric, not the fabric, the woven fabric. Well, I mean, that's what it's
If you go out and look, you can see it. So
Yeah.
it's not too much of a spoiler, but yes. So the bags have a knitted motif.
Yeah. So they're very cool. Go check them out. But she does say that right now, in its current state, it's just a photograph of the swatches that were made that she is turning into fabric. Once the fabric has come in, she'll whip up some bags really quickly, and we'll have examples pictured with it. But and that should be soonly, actually. I'm sure the fabric was ordered last week, so keep an eye out if you're waiting for that actual sample before you pull the trigger. It's coming, and be aware that there are lots of colors. My mom says to play away. She's already got somebody who's got knitted color on the outside and then different pearl color on the inside. And then
Can't do that
has
with
a-
knitting.
yeah, and then has a yeah, that's true. Has a pocket that's even another color. So yeah,
Fun.
just a lot of cool different things. So play with it. All the colors will be available. So yeah, play away.
Excellent. Well, Max, are you going to come say goodbye?
Oh,
You will come?
go listen.
Oh, you're a good boy. Yes, you are. You're going to pet me if I came up here, right?
With Pivot, I pick her up and make her wave
Mm.
because she deserves it.
She deserves it. He deserves to be put on his back and like a baby. Oh, yes. Okay.
Bye.
Bye, Uta.